And we're here for our very last interview on the Biohacking live stream, giving you a sneak peek of what's been going on here today. And we have Anna Lindfors, who's from Finland. Your talk today was about biohacking, sex and love. Sounds like the perfect way to end our interviews for this weekend. What were you sharing?
Well, I was basically just kind of introducing the concept of biohacking, sex and love, because it's something that hasn't really been spoken about. But the core of my talk was really about how disconnected we are from ourselves and our sexuality. And the way to enhance sexual health is really to reconnect with oneself, to heal trauma, and that way then get to that ultimate pleasure. Because we all want, maximize pleasure and orgasms and multi-orgasms, and a lot of biohackers perform life. You track and you measure and you do things to optimize, but I think the important question is to pause and reflect on why you're doing what you're doing, and are you enjoying life?
Yes, today we've had a lot of art, music, back to the kind of basics, like it doesn't really matter what you're doing to biohack, but be present, enjoy it. And your background, are you a doctor or psychologist?
I'm a psychologist and a sexologist. I specialize in sexological therapy and work with trauma patients. So actually, I prefer to use the term trauma survivors. And, just to help them really reconnect with themselves and rebuild themselves.
What do you think is the best way to hack? We use that word a lot, but to hack or triumph through trauma in your framework of sexology and psychology?
Well, there are many ways, but like I said before, it really starts with reconnecting with oneself and reconnecting with your pleasure. Because when trauma happens, we shift away, we dissociate, we disconnect from who we are. But key biohacks to healing trauma are really to relearn how to regulate your nervous system via breathwork, cold exposure, meditation, different factors. You can use supplements for that too. But really to work with your nervous system, but then also the psychological factors. So do the healing work and look at the trauma and what it caused you, but also what it taught you. And then kind of rebuilding yourself from there.
What are some practical steps that people can do? I think everybody's a little bit, if you're still alive in this century, you've probably been a bit traumatized. Trauma is relative to different people. What are things people can start to do? Like, it's easy to say meditate, but if you've ever had PTSD, you can't really meditate. What are things people can do to implement?
What I often say is that we all have sexual trauma. Because we perceive trauma as like sexual assault or, being a victim of a crime. But really, it's also the lack of intimacy, lack of connection, lack of care, different factors, insecurities. So we all have some biohacking to do when it comes to sexuality and sexual health and trauma. But, practical steps. I have to say this first because I'm a professional and I practice. So I don't want people just to go on about and start biohacking without any navigation. So if it's possible for individuals, seek out a professional who's specialized in that area that you want to hack, whether it's sexual health or sleep or whatever. But right now we're talking about sexual health. So find a sexologist who's specialized in that area and then work with them. Heal yourself with the help of others. But then on your own, it really is a matter of pausing, in my opinion, because trauma causes us to go on this overstimulated state and you're running and escaping and performing and doing these things. And we need something to make us pause and then reflect on your life and why am I doing this? What has happened? Journaling is amazing because you then transfer, your thoughts on the paper. Working through that way. And then obviously sexual trauma, reconnecting with your body. Start exploring different kinds of tats like tapping or stroking or whatever you feel like, and then start to explore your pleasure by yourself and because you can discover so many aspects of yourself via self-pleasure. start love yourself and appreciate your body and who you are. I don't know if it all sounds a bit vague, but really there is no supplement that can fix your relationship or a device that can, well, there are some devices for orgasms, but you know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad you brought up journaling. Paper and pen, we've all got access to.
Exactly.
I personally, I've been through the whole Finnish mental health care system, physical health care system, basically got feedback to the effect of like, you must be psychotic because this doesn't happen in Finland, and then having to bring stacks of evidence from the court that, actually I have been persecuted and harassed, so it would be quite normal to be traumatized. But after going through the whole kind of chain, I feel like one of the main things is to like empower yourself. As long as you're blaming the old story or something, it's very hard to change anything. So I guess taking ownership, but definitely journaling is one of the things that's helped me a lot, because I think we do have our own like psychic immune system as well, and that innate intelligence really, and by writing you're simply processing a lot of that stuff. So
and I mean, I'm sorry to hear about your experience, but I love the fact that you said it, because I feel that in many ways our mental health care system is broken. We need to change that. But when I work with clients, my key message is hope, because when trauma survivors enter healthcare system, they're being stigmatized, and they're treated with traumatic. They're treated with care, but it's like, okay, you've been through assault, so you're now going to be forever that assaulted woman. But the survivors deserve more than that. They deserve hope, and they deserve the autonomy to redefine themselves, because that was taken away from them. So as practitioners, as friends, as biohackers, it's our job to help these people reach autonomy and support that, and act from love.
Act from love. Love is the answer to all
love
the
is the answer to probably everything, I would say.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you here with us at the Biohacker Summit. If people want to find out more about your work, do you have a website or?
Yeah, they could go to Instagram at Heal with Anna.
Instagram?
Instagram.
Heal with Anna.
Heal with Anna, and then we can connect there and discuss these topics more.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.